Hello there, and welcome to another exciting edition of Dad Dude Advice. I just wanted to keep the ball rolling. I missed last week because on the 9th I had back surgery, and I just didn't. I was getting lazy too, playing video games, having a good time, and didn't want to move very much, and decided not to do my dad advice last week. Anyway, um, really want to help people out there. So let me get my book full of stuff. See, being a dumbass. Everybody is a dumbass from time to time. Even little Itzy over there. Okay. I'd like to start out with doop 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 doop. My Gmail. Nope. Nope. Okay, here we go. My email account is torech379 If you need advice on anything, I would like to help you. I'm no professional at anything, but I really enjoy helping people, and no matter what, I'll give it a shot. Uh, so since nobody's emailed me so far, I'm just going to keep up with advice. Stuff that uh, people may not know or yada yada, but anyway, start with you're awesome. Um, Look, everybody spends a lot of time in their life finding ways to not be happy with themselves. So be happy with yourself. You're good. If you know, life is tough enough without you beating yourself up as well as everybody else. So be happy with who you are if you can. Um, I guess I'm gonna do a uh, thing about guys right now. And I'm trying to talk to young people. Why? Because I'm a dad, and I figure I'll give advice to young people, and so I can um, maybe help them along and avoid some troubles. So I guess I'm going to be talking to young ladies today, and talking about guys and dating and that kind of thing. First and foremost, I gotta say that people are people, um, and a guy can like you for you, you can like them, yada yada yada. Um, the only problem with guys is that guys, the younger they are, the more filled they are with testosterone. The more aggressive they are, and the fact is that young males, especially, although all males in general, are driven by the desire to get sex. Guys want sex. Um, and they will lie, cheat, steal. They'll tell you whatever they think you want to hear if they can get sex out of you. So, you know, if it's not something you're into, if it's not something you're ready for, if, um, you're not sure, don't do it. If they really care about you, if they really love you, if they really like you, whatever, if they're really into you, they'll wait. And if they don't wait, then they're an asshole and you better off without them. So don't ever let anyone pressure you for sex. And remember that a guy will lie, cheat, steal. I mean, he'll lie to you. He'll tell you whatever he thinks you want to hear if he thinks that it will lead to him getting sex. Um, the older guys get, the less they're like that, but it's something that becomes ingrained in them as they go along too. A more experienced guy, he still wants to have sex, um, and he's going to be more experienced in what to say just to get a woman to, you know. On the flip side, an older, more experienced guy is also going to, in most cases, want to be, be with somebody that they really like, and so they're going to be less of a, you know, less of a, sex, and more, I mean, they're going to be more into other things as well. Um, Guys are just as insecure and vulnerable as you are. Um, Guys' biggest insecurity is, of course, penis size. Um, and their ability to fulfill you. Um, Guys are absolutely neurotic when it comes to penis size, and most guys, you know how girls have body issues and they go, "Oh, I don't like my butt," or "I don't like my arms with the jiggly fat," or some kind of thing like that. Guys are like that with their penis. Um, Straight up. Uh, Most guys feel inadequate. Um, Guys, you know, when it comes to, especially if you're young, in bed, guys don't know what they're doing. They feel like, um, they're very sensitive about their junk. So any form of, uh, comment that could be viewed negatively, just like a guy could say, you know, you got a nice big butt. And you're like, you think my butt's big? If you, I mean, it's easy for a guy to take insult about his junk. So be careful what you say about a guy's junk. You know. Uh, what else should we go with this? Oh, no glove, no love. Um, Straight up, I've never had sex worth dying for. And there's diseases out there that are death sentences. Whether, I mean, the big one is AIDS. Who wants to get AIDS? I mean, it's a long, torturous death. Now they're able to string you out for a really long time, but uh, AIDS is a life ruiner. Even if you live for 20 or 30 or 40 years after you get it, um, it sucks. You can't have children. It's hard to get partners afterwards because, I mean, everybody's terrified of someone with AIDS. So, how many people are willing to sleep with somebody who has AIDS, even though, as long as you take precautions, they're not going to get it? You know what I'm saying? Um, so, I mean, there's also syphilis that'll kill you, gonorrhea can kill you. Um, there's a lot of stuff out there. And I mean, I've had sex, I've had great sex. I've had bad sex too. Um, Sometimes that was my fault. But anyway, the reality is, come on, turtle. The reality is there's no sex worth dying for, so make sure a condom is present at all times. Um, Even if your guy's gotten tested and this and that, I mean, the thing is, if the condom's present, you don't get pregnant, you don't get diseases. You are protected. Uh, and that's really important. You need to make sure that you're protected. Protect yourself, be careful, and then have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "Oh, I don't like the way it feels," especially guys. But the fact is, if a guy's not willing to use one, that means he doesn't really care about you, because he's not caring about your safety. Um, and if you're not caring about your safety, then something's wrong. Maybe you need to get a little mental help because you should care about your safety. You should protect yourself. You should make sure there's a condom there at all times. Um, what else? Um, Here's the thing, and it's good for guys and it's good for girls. Um, Everybody likes to be listened to. If you are a good listener, then people will enjoy talking with you. Of course, you have to talk and this and that, but the better you are at listening to another person, um, then the more they're going to like talking to you because everybody likes to talk about themselves. Um, and not everybody's good at listening. And so it's a skill. It's an important thing. I think that, it's good to develop. Um, Also, let me see, going on a bunch of other stuff about guys. the younger a guy is, the less he knows about sex, which means the less he knows how to please you. Um, the more timid you are about talking about sex with your partner, the more timid they are about talking about sex, the worse your sex is going to be most of the time. Um, it's a lot easier for a guy to get um, his orgasm than it is for you to get yours. If you want to get yours, teach him what you like, you know, try to help him do the things that are make you gonna get yours, and that way you'll get yours instead of like having a bunch of situations where he gets his, you get nothing, and then you feel kind of like bleh. I don't know why. Every time I do a video, my dogs want to go in and out, in and out. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. I would edit this, but I have no idea how to do it because I guess I'm old as dirt. Anyway, guys are people, just like you're a person. Everybody has their insecurities, their strengths, their weaknesses. Um, a lot of guys don't understand talking. I let them out and they're barking like hell. Isn't that great? Let me see. Guys are people. And they like to be listened to. Guys are terrible talkers. Guys are very simple in many ways. When you ask a guy what he's thinking, and he says nothing, it very well could be nothing. Or maybe he's daydreaming and he doesn't want to tell you that he's thinking about being a superhero or something stupid like that, that he's afraid that you'll judge him on. He might be thinking about sports. He might just be thinking that he's got an itch over here. Guys aren't good at verbal stuff, especially like, case in point, I told my wife, oh yeah, this guy over here is getting divorced. And she's like, oh my God, what happened? And it's for a guy, I don't know, I guess they don't like each other anymore. You know what I mean? Guys aren't great on the details, especially social details. So just remember that. If you ask a guy what he's thinking and he says nothing, it's probably nothing. The only time the guy, but also guys don't like to talk as much as women do. They'll talk a lot when they're dating because why? Why does a guy talk a lot when he's dating? Especially when the relationship first starts. Because he wants to have sex with you. And he realizes that if he doesn't continually talk with you, he's not going to be able to have sex with you. The other thing is when a relationship is new, it's fresh, it's exciting, and a guy really, has a lot to say. Women are better listeners, so he can tell his life story. After a while, a guy runs out of things to say, especially when he's been with a girl for a good while. And, guys tend to not be as talkative. I'm an exception to the rule. I'm really talkative, but they're not a lot of us. So silence in a guy isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's some of the obvious things, like most guys hate shopping. Not all. But unless you're shopping for stuff they like, you take a guy to a sporting goods store or a video game store or something like that, Best Buy, whatever he's into. Of course he likes shopping because that's his stuff. A guy's stuff is generally almost never, there's some guys that are clothes horses. There's some guys that are really into tennis shoes. But the reality is that most guys, women like to shop a lot more than guys. And when you tow your guys to the mall, if he's going to the mall with you and he looks like he's having a good time, he's just doing it because, either he wants to get laid or he cares about you and he wants you to be happy. So he's going. Um, Everything in a relationship is give and take. If one person is always taking, and the other one's always giving, it's a bad relationship. So if you're with a guy and you do everything that he wants, and then when you ask him for something, like, oh, can we go do this? Can we go do that? And he's like, I don't want to do that. Or he makes an excuse. Oh, I'm kind of busy. I got to take care of this or that. Um, if a guy, you do everything for him and he does nothing for you, why are you there? Don't be there. That just means he's an asshole and he only cares about himself. Um, and there's a lot of guys that only care about you when you're gone. Like, oh, wait, that's because you were doing all this shit for them. And then you left and now they come seeking you because it's like, wait, come back, you know, and they may not realize it, but they're really come back and do this shit for me and have sex with me and do all the things that I want. Um, if you run into that, you know, get the heck out of Dodge. You don't need that. Um, there are women that are like that too. Um, Here's the thing. I mean, there's lots of stuff that you'll run into. Guys kind of get sore sometimes because when you go out with a guy, a lot of guys, I mean, it's traditional that the guy pays for everything. Um, but if he's paying for everything, and you know he's paying for everything, if you push to go to the fanciest restaurants and you always want to go out and see movies and this and that and do a bunch of stuff that's just costing him a ton of money, um, a guy can get really sore about that, but he's not going to say anything about it because he wants to keep going out with you. He's into you, wants to have sex with you, and he knows all that's going to stop if he becomes cheap. But when I was young, I was with the girl that was spending me out of house and home, um, and it's not fun, So the girls have to take responsibility for that side where it's like, you don't necessarily even have to offer to pay for anything, but um, come up with things to do sometimes that you like to do that doesn't cost money or it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I don't mean girly shit, but like, hey, let's go to the beach or, you know, even if you're going to go out, hey, instead of, wanting to go to Shea Megabucks, let's let's go to that, little taqueria, around the corner there, because a lot of times taquerias are not really expensive and they have great food. Uh, and it's like I don't know, I like Mexican food, but yeah, you get the point. The point is, you know, sometimes you don't have to go to the Golden Dragon Chinese food. You can go to Panda Express, or you know what I'm saying. What else can help with guys? Uh, every guy has the things that they're into. If a guy's into playing video games, I mean, I'm a video gamer, which is unusual for a guy of my age, but I will say that, look, if a guy likes to play video games, it's what he's into, it's what he likes to do, and he relaxes. Um, I don't care how old a guy is. If a guy's, 20, 30, 40, 50, there's nothing wrong with a guy playing video games. Guys do things like video games, sports, bicycling to release toxic energy from themselves. Uh, Guys have testosterone in them, a lot of testosterone in some cases. Testosterone builds up a lot of angst, a lot of energy, a lot of aggression, which guys use their side activities, whether it's watching sports or playing video games or actually, excuse me, playing sports, whatever. They use these things to release their angst. Um, so don't get down on it. If a guy plays video games all the time and never pays attention to you, okay, that's a different thing. Like I said, everything's give and take. But if you're hanging out in the house and everybody's doing nothing, um, and he's playing video games, then play video games. Uh, if you need him to take out the trash or whatever, I mean, if you go, hey, can you take out the trash? He says, hold on a minute. As long as he does it after a little while, take the hold on. There's some guys that say hold on, and never actually do shit, and that has to be addressed. But you can talk about it. The other thing is, women tend to build up tension inside themselves, and they hold on to little bits of pieces, everything else, and then they get to the straw that broke the camel's back, and then all of a sudden they explode on a guy. Guys don't get that. And so now all of a sudden you're in a big fight about this when all this stuff on the other side is really the stuff that was bothering you. And so I'd have to say, be conscious of that. Because that can really jeopardize relationships if a guy's not used to that. Guys don't take hints. And I have to say that pretty much all guys don't take hints. If you hint at something to a guy and then he doesn't get it for you, do it for you, whatever, don't get mad. There's no point in it. I am very bad about that in many ways. I don't take hints. If women hint at stuff instead of saying, hey, I'd really like you to do this, or my birthday's coming up, I really like this, or I want this, or whatever. If you hint at things, you're never going to get it from a guy, and then it's just going to aggravate you. Don't hint. It doesn't work. Guys respond directly. A guy will say, something to a friend. Hey, let's go here. His friend might say, I don't want to do that, but at least he's saying, let's go here. That's a guy thing. Guys are very direct. They're, go get it. They're the hunters. And they don't understand hints at all. What else? I don't have a plan for anything. I tend to just ramble on. Because, I don't know. I am lazy and creative and disorganized. Anyway. What else can I say? I don't know. If you're having problems with guys or a guy and you have some kind of problem that you want me to address that I can think about, email me. I'll help you out. Give me all the details. Girls are usually good at that, but the more details, the better. The part of the country you live in, not just what the guy's doing, but the whole big picture around it. The more you tell me, the better, and I will try to give you insights on that, because I really like to help people, and that's one way that I can help people. And since I'm talking about guys at this point, I really do like to help people with their relationships. Anyway, I guess I'll end that. I'll say that once again, my email is torech379@gmail.com. Once again, torech379@gmail.com. And, you know, I'd love to help you with your guy problems. Can't help you with your girl problems because I'm not a girl and I probably would fuck that up. Um, and I guess that's just about it for today. Um, hope you're having a good day, week, month, whatever. Um, don't let life get you down. And hopefully you will see me again. Click.